to the More Life Project.
Thanks.
Not you, our listeners. We're super excited to be here with you guys today. Thanks so much for tuning in to our first couple episodes.
Yeah, they've been amazing. I've actually loved listening back and learning things all over again.
Yeah. That's the thing about all of this information that we get. Good. It's like you need refreshers constantly because there's so much of it.
I'm taking notes on our own podcast.
That means we're doing the job right.
I know, it's amazing.
I know that we want to talk through a bunch of important topics today. Some things that might get people worked up, might spike your cortisol.
We're going to stir some pots.
Yeah. But we'll just start it off by talking about our own wellness habits. I know that I've incorporated something new in my routine that I kind of wanted to talk about, but I'll throw the question to you first.
Ooh, hot
What
seat.
is one of your wellness habits that you think is key to your long-term success?
For sure, sleep. I think the last 12 years that I've been working for Orangetheory, a lot of those years I spent having to be up at 3:30 for coaching classes.
I love waking up at 3:30.
3:30, which is very early. And in the early days of my career there, I would just stay up until 9:30 and then be up at 3:30. And then I would take a nap. I was a big napper. And I'd always been a napper. I always liked naps, but I would have to nap. And this happened to me during COVID. I just realized I didn't want to have to nap in order to feel good.
Yeah.
So when I came back after COVID to do that, to open at 3:30 again, I decided, what would be super mature of me? To go to bed earlier.
Yeah.
And do that. And so I started going to bed. So I'm asleep by 8:30 any night that I have to be up at 3:30 for sure.
I'm asleep by 8:30 any night in general.
It's amazing.
Catch me on a Friday or Saturday night. I'm in bed by 8, asleep by 8:30.
This date needs to end in 15 minutes.
I just don't have a life. No.
You have an amazing life.
False.
You have an amazing
life.
But yeah,
sleep is super crucial.
Yeah, and it's made a huge difference. I like not being tired all day.
Yeah, that's great.
It's fantastic. And then what we've always talked about on this podcast multiple times is just the, I take rest, physical rest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't work out every single day. I take rest. And I think that's a huge impact.
Yeah. Do you have like a set routine of when you work out, when you rest, or is it kind of just spontaneous through the week?
I think I use my job as an excuse for this answer, but it is just kind of whenever I can get it in during the week.
Yeah.
Because our work is so sporadic, and I am always in an Orangetheory at some point during the week in most of my days. So I'll get it in when I can. And thankfully, I always have a set of workout clothes in the car, and I'm always just ready to go anytime I can get in. So it's pretty sporadic.
Yeah.
And that's also because I'm just not a big planner.
Yeah, that's how I am. People always ask, like, what is your routine or what's your split? What days do you do what? And I'm like, I don't have a set routine. It's just whatever my body feels like doing that day or whatever fits in my schedule. So, and then I know when I need to rest too.
How do you know?
On that. My body tells me.
What's your cues? Like, tell us what your cues. I don't think people, I'm asking that because I don't think.
Yeah, that's something I want to get into later.
Ooh.
It's like how to actually get in tune with your body.
Did I just do a teaser on accident?
Maybe.
Because I think it's good that we're going to get into it, because I think a lot of people, and you've been an athlete your whole life, I've been an athlete my whole life, I think a lot of people don't know their bodies well enough to know the indicators of a need for rest.
Yeah.
They skip it.
Well, I didn't used to know. And I had these big goals in my mind. So I thought, if I take a day off, then I'm going to be further away from my goal. Yeah. When in fact, it's actually the opposite. Yeah. But now, if I didn't get good sleep, or if I'm feeling tense, like if I notice that my shoulders and everything's starting to be tense, I'm like, okay, I'm probably stressed and I'm not acknowledging that. So I probably need to take a step back, or I don't know, just different fluctuations in my cycle. I'm super in touch with my cycle. Just because I've tracked it for so many years, and now I can actually know, like, oh my gosh, I am ovulating today, or I can feel that energy. Or if I'm like, I'm a couple days after my period, I just like my energy just drops and I feel that. So
what about your mood? I noticed it in my mood.
Oh, my mood. I'm like, why do I have unexplained rage today? Oh,
right.
We're on day 26.
When I'm snapping and things are really bothering me.
Yeah.
That shouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
Just like in the house, like, why is this door always open? Like, it's filling me with rage.
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
That's interesting that because I thought you were that kind of person that left cupboards open.
I'm not a cupboard doors open person.
You told us that.
I am a cupboard doors open person, but then I go in and I shut them all. But here's like, I'll walk in, if I see a kitchen with doors open, probably left open by me, then I will go and shut them all.
Okay.
That's what bothers me. But I will forget to leave
You bother
them open.
yourself. You trigger yourself. That's funny.
I think people's own like clutter doesn't bother them. It's somebody else's clutter.
Any clutter bothers me.
Yeah.
Everything has a place and everything's in its place.
Yeah, for the most part, I'm pretty orderly, but sometimes it sneaks in.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how I kind of listen to my own cues and know when to rest. My wellness habit was also sleep, just prioritizing that. There's nothing to me that's more important than my sleep. So if I want to get a workout in the morning, but I feel a little bit run down, I'm going to take the extra sleep. Yeah, I'm not going to force that to happen, but I kind of know what is an excuse versus what is a valid reason to do that. But something that I had been doing for years and years and years was a daily walk. That was like 2 to 3 miles per day outside, not just to get my steps in and get my activity levels up, but to be out in nature, get vitamin D, kind of be disconnected from technology for at least, an hour. And I had these daily walks for years and just added so much to my happiness. Like, talk about not just physical health, but mental health. But then I stopped once I moved into Laguna Beach, which is funny.
Oh, it is funny.
Back when I wasn't right by the beach, I would want to be outside. And if to be outside, I had to go walk. Well, now that I've lived in, Laguna for over a year, I just walk out my door and right on down to the beach, and I plop down and I just lay there. Which is great because I'm outside, but I'm not getting my steps in like I used to.
When you take your walks, are you in AirPods in or out?
No, because I don't want to fry my brain with AirPods.
Okay, are you
I wear them occasionally.
Earbuds person in or out?
No, I want to listen to the sounds of the birds. So I just got back to my walks a couple weeks ago.
That's good.
Because what I was trying to do, I like to work out and be active in the morning, but I don't want to go and do something that's higher intensity. So me thinking of, I'm going to go lift or I'm going to go take an Orangetheory class at 6 or 7 a.m. is a little bit daunting to me at this time. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's just,
the season you're in.
I want to do that around like on the back end of my day, the higher intensity work. But I want to be active in the morning because I know I need to get that energy out. Yeah. And just set myself to be good. Yeah. Which I didn't get to do today, which kind of explains some things. But
let's unpack.
I was like, okay, let's get this activity in first thing in the morning. I don't need to go and convince myself to do a workout. But if I can just get my workout clothes on and get outside and go on a walk, I don't need to commit to something super long, but at least I'm moving. And then every time I get started moving, you start to feel better. And then it's like an hour outside, disconnected from the world. I'm not listening to anything usually. I've been walking for an hour every morning for it's now actually been 2.5 weeks. So maybe
I've noticed a huge improvement in your mood. I'm joking.
Okay. We'll take a poll of everybody else in my life. Yeah. No, but I actually have. I'm a lot happier. I'm a lot more free to just, I don't know, get that energy out when you first wake up. That's when I get to connect with my dog. Yeah. He's happier. Yeah. I get to say hi to my neighbors. I actually walk to a coffee shop and have just like good community interaction and then walk home and then start my day.
I love it.
Yeah. But I think more people need to add in that type of exercise where it's not a set workout and having a set plan and needing to show up somewhere, but just getting more non-exercise activity in. So like walks throughout their day, little mini exercises by your desk if you have a sedentary job, different ways to just get energy out throughout the longer span of your day as opposed to I'm only working out for this hour and then I'm sitting.
Yeah. I like that you're not wearing your earbuds. I had a friend in college, she used to say, I want to hear the hears, smell the smells, and see the sees. And I thought that was so clever because when you have earbuds in, you're distracted. Even if I'm listening to a podcast or I'm listening to music, I'm just distracted from everything around me. And when I'm not listening to music or even a podcast, I like to work out to podcasts a lot, but I can just take everything in. And I think that's part of the wellness aspect of the routine.
Yeah. You know that saying, like, what's your serial killer trait?
Yeah.
I used to.
Totally know
okay,
that
so
saying.
For years and years, I worked out with no music.
Oh.
Like, I didn't wear headphones for my first, 5-6 years of
Pre or
lifting.
post your OTF career? Or
Post,
current?
because my whole workout career is Orangetheory.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm listening to music when I'm in a class, but when I'm lifting on my own,
well, I
never wore headphones.
Because I think working for Orangetheory killed my interest in working out to music, because we're in that music all day long. So I used to always
We're going all out all day.
Yeah. I used to listen to music when I would work out, but now that I'm in that all the time, I never listen to music when I work out anymore.
Oh, no.
So we both like, that's a serial killer trait.
Yeah. But I started listening to music when I lift like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And now I like it. But I was like, whatever the gym's got on is good for me.
Yeah.
And I was talking about actually to my classes during cool down the other day that the grocery store has the best playlist.
Wow.
Think about it. What are you listening to as you're scrolling through the aisles?
That was just an old person thing, but you're young.
I love it. And they were playing White Flag by the artist starts with a D. It's a song from like the very early 2000s, maybe late 1990s. And I played it during cool down this week. And I had my spiel I was going to say of like grocery stores have the best music. I rediscovered this song strolling through the aisles this weekend. But a guy in my class who's literally 30 like me, he's like, I love this song. I remember being in the backseat of my mom's car when I was like 5. And I'm like, yes, that's the memory that I have.
It's so funny. I know. I just saw this on Instagram. Like all of a sudden when you're going to the grocery store and the playlist just completely slaps. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then you realize it's just that's old people music. And I'm like,
and it's good. It's nostalgic for me.
I like it. I'm glad. It makes me feel better because you're so much younger than I am.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we wanted to talk about different modalities of exercise today and like what is the right type of workout, because you hear that so often of, okay, right now it's all about strength training.
Yeah.
Right now it's all about being a Pilates princess. High intensity interval training had its moment for a long time. So what is the right type of workout for your specific goals, and kind of just debunking that whole entire mindset and helping some of these workout modalities out. Like let's myths them bust some myths.
Okay.
And
this is good.
Kind of talk through
I
some
think
things.
That's great, because we've talked a little bit on previous podcasts about the confusion, especially coming from social media. This workout is the best workout. This workout's the best workout. This is the silver bullet workout. This one's going to kill your cortisol, all of those things. And so I think this is very timely.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this
I
topic.
want to start with the cortisol conversation.
Well, let's just jump right in.
Because cortisol and its link specifically to high intensity interval training is a very hot topic this year. And us working in the fitness space, specifically Orangetheory, being Orangetheory coaches, Orangetheory is labeled as a high intensity interval training workout, where it has some similarities to that, but it's actually not HIIT.
Yeah, it can't technically be categorized as true HIIT.
Yeah.
Because we have too much rest.
We have a lot of rest.
Lots of rest.
It's 5-zone heart rate based training with an emphasis on strength training.
Yeah.
And with this cortisol conversation, though, concepts like Orangetheory have been like demonized.
Yes.
And I hear people talking about it without either having the knowledge behind what we do or what other concepts do, because there's plenty of gyms out there that are high intensity interval training. You know, you have or similar to that, Orangetheory, Burn Boot Camp, F45. These are some of the bigger names. Local to Orange County, there's gyms that kind of market themselves as strength training gyms. It's the same concept as Orangetheory.
Yeah.
You're lifting, you've got short interval work in spurts, and but our bigger brands have been labeled. So what is being said right now is that high intensity interval training spikes your cortisol,
which is that in and of itself is the demon act. You should never spike your cortisol.
Yeah.
That's the fear.
Yeah. Well, why is that the fear?
Because they have said that if you spike your cortisol, your hormones are going to go out of whack, and you're going to have all kinds of problems. You're going to gain weight. You're not going to be able to hit your goals, because there's this fear that any spike in your cortisol is to be avoided at all costs.
Yes. And I don't understand that fear.
Yeah.
And I don't think people understand what that fear actually means, because they don't really understand what cortisol is as a hormone in relation to the rest of your hormones, and why we have natural fluctuations in that, and that spiking it is actually a healthy response.
Absolutely.
that you need to do.
And it's what builds resilience in your body. You
Yes.
want a body that's able to manage stress. You want to be able to have a body that is able to have a spike in cortisol and a drop in cortisol and find balance in the middle. And you're training, when you do high intensity exercise, you are training your body to be able to hit that and level back off, hit that spike in cortisol and then level back off. If you just like, no one said anywhere, hopefully, to avoid stress at all costs in your life. If you're not actively engaging in and everything is stress. Exercise is stress. Familial relationships can be stressful. Your job adds stress. Lack of sleep adds stress. Your diet adds some stress. So all of that is stressful. And if you're unable to manage that stress or somehow, come up against that stressful incident or issue or relationship, and if you're not able to meet that and deal with it, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with your cortisol.
Yeah. Well, like you mentioned, everything in life can be stressful, and you have to train your body to adapt to that stress in a healthy way. So exercise as healthy stress is a phenomenal way to train your body how to respond to the unhealthy stressors that you have. And so a concept that has short bursts of energy, such as high intensity interval training, or something similar to like what we do at Orangetheory, where you have sometimes, not always actually, but sometimes on the tread work, you're sprinting and getting your exertion up. And then we coach you into a recovery. Yeah. And that recovery, this is something that I preach every single time we do any sort of power work. It's like your recovery is equally as important as the work and that short burst of energy that you're exerting out. But everybody wants to focus on the sprint.
Right.
Nobody wants to focus on the walking recovery afterwards, and training your heart rate to come down through intentional breath work, and knowing that that is then translating into your nervous system and how it's going to respond to a stressor.
Yeah. And I think that the benefit of wearing a heart rate monitor, performance tracker, is to be able to see exactly where you are. And I think that that comes with good coaching, is to say, hey, we just took your heart rate all the way up. Now let's bring it back down. And you've got a visual cue to help guide you in that. It's such a beneficial part of that workout.
Yeah. And what we see at Orangetheory, but this relates to any type of fitness concept, is that anytime we then coach people into a recovery, there are a handful of people that are terrified of the recovery and they want to run through the walking recovery, or they see their heart rate drop and they are right back to it. And that's part of why this conversation on high intensity exercise and cortisol kind of started, is because if you aren't focusing on the rest, then you are probably putting your body into a stressed out state for too long. And then if you have a stressful life outside of your workout, you're never recovering from that. But most often there is the recovery partnered with the work strategically so that you're able to recover that.
Anecdotally, we have a lot to take from, because we have people that come to us as clients and members that they're working out 5-6 days a week at the highest intensity they're able to at every single workout. Plus their diet is a little bit out of control. Plus they're not getting sleep. So then they make the one change that they think is going to be the silver bullet, which is like, okay, well, I'm going to stop eating carbs, or I'm going to stop eating all fat, or I'm going to make some drastic change to their diet, not recognizing that stressful. Is very stressful on your body. And then they come to us and they say, I'm working out every day. I'm barely eating anything. I'm doing everything that I can. They're probably not getting the sleep that they need. They've probably got a stressful job, and they want to know why they're not hitting the goals that they want to hit. And it's because they're completely stressed out in every single area. And nobody is preaching that. But that's what they're taking in these sound bites on Instagram. This is what I need to be doing.
Well, I do have a couple studies on high intensity interval training and cortisol and that conversation. And you're now seeing information come out that's flipping the narrative back to, this is a good thing, but here's how to do it in a way that's healthy and sustainable. So I have a couple. One is from Dr. Stacy Sims, who had actually talked bad about HIIT for a little bit and then changed her tune and did her own studies and research. But it talked about how it's not the workout in everything that you just said. It's not the workout that is the culprit. It's the chronic stress in your life and everything else. But when you're doing high intensity interval training work, you are then teaching your body how to adapt. So she kind of just talks about how you can adapt, recover, grow back stronger, and your baseline cortisol levels after a couple months of high intensity interval training exercise, like 3 times a week, your baseline cortisol levels actually drop down lower than what they were prior to doing that exercise. Right. So the actual fact is the opposite of what we're hearing in these sound bites and this misinformation.
Well, just to, and Dr. Stacey Sims is brilliant. And I think that when she originally was talking about the dangers of high intensity exercise and cortisol, I think probably we only got a soundbite of what, she thought. But what I think a lot of people who fear this high intensity exercise and cortisol spikes is that the thought is that when you come into a workout like an Orangetheory or something similar, you're going to walk in the door, you're going to be taxed from the second you walk in to the end, because there's a coach in there who's going to be yelling at you and you need to be doing this and go harder and go faster and all out all the time. And then they're not recognizing that that's not what the workout is designed to do. No one should be doing that. We are building in opportunities for rest. And like you said, bringing your heart rate down so that you're able to run just as fast the next time or lift just as heavy in the next set. And so there's just this misconception about it. And so she didn't have an opportunity to flesh out that whole thing in that one soundbite that went around social media. But yeah, I'm glad that we're revisiting it.
Totally. And when you actually look at the research on high intensity interval training, when it relates to longevity, when it relates to its impact on VO2 max and how good it is for all people, but specifically like postmenopausal women as well, or middle-aged to postmenopausal women, it talks about short spurts, like these 10 to 20 minute workouts. Well, that's like the tread portion of our interval training, right? In an Orangetheory class and in a lot of these group fitness classes, you're not doing that for the full 60 minutes. Right. So if you are familiar with Orangetheory, the back end of the class, or depending on where you start, the strength training portion is not high intensity interval training at all. Right. Unless it's like Hell Week and they're throwing in burpees and all that stuff. Right. But typically it's strength training where you have like hypertrophy style reps, like 6 to 12 reps with rest, literally on the screen saying, please rest. Right. I remember
and your heart rate monitor on.
I was walking by a member on Monday and they were resting and I went and looked at her. I'm like, good job. She's like, it's okay. I'm going to get back to it. Like, I want you to rest. See the screen? It literally says rest.
I say it over the mic.
If you lifted heavy,
good job resting. That is what I want to see.
If you're lifting heavy, you should need to rest after your set to refuel so you can lift heavy again for your next set.
Brilliant.
One more little study. It's from Stanford on high intensity interval training.
They're pretty smart there.
They are. I didn't go there.
I didn't either.
But it says HIIT and long duration intense cardio spike cortisol significantly. If done too frequently without recovery, cortisol may stay elevated. So it says experts still recommend HIIT, but keep them short and followed by restful recovery. If you notice disrupted sleep or anxiety after intense training, it's a sign to scale back. So I think the most important part of that is saying if done too frequently without recovery, cortisol may stay elevated. So it's still just reconfirming kind of everything that we talked about anecdotally on the start of this. Yeah. It's you got to be able to listen to your body. And things such as if it's disrupting your sleep, you feel anxiety, you're unable to calm down, your heart rate stays elevated, then that's your cue that you probably need to scale back. You don't do this 6 days a week. No. I don't recommend doing this 6 days a week. No. If you're doing high intensity work, like every other day, take your rest days.
Take your rest days because like we said, that's stress on your body. I want to go back to what you said about the perimenopausal or the menopausal female. So, and this is not just for women in perimenopause and menopause. This is for everybody. As you age, you lose muscle mass. Your VO2 max goes down. All of that stuff plays a part in just the aging process. And so if you are not intentionally building muscle and working on your VO2 max, your longevity scores start to drop.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that people recognize that. It doesn't just because you were really, and that happens in your 30s, like not even just perimenopausal women. That's like in your 30s, your VO2 max starts to drop.
The More Life Project is sponsored by Orangetheory Fitness. Orangetheory is an all-in-one dynamic blend of strength and cardio training that supercharges your metabolism to burn more calories and build lean muscle. Certified coaches guide you through science-backed workouts designed for all fitness levels. To learn more and to get your first class for free, stop in or visit orangetheory.com.
The More Life Project is a production of Aspire Holdings, LLC. The views and opinions expressed on the More Life Project podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Aspire Holdings, LLC, its sponsors, affiliates, or employees. The information shared on this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered medical or professional advice. Please consult with your healthcare provider before making any changes to your fitness, wellness, or nutritional routines.
Yeah, your VO2 max starts to drop. Like you said, your muscle mass goes down. I was just reading on like osteoporosis and how you reach peak bone mass typically by age 30. Mm-hmm. And after that, that's going down as well. Right. But the VO2 max thing is huge. Like your most important muscles in your body are your heart and your lungs. Mm-hmm. And if you are not working them and putting them under healthy stress consistently, like what is the lead killer of Americans? Cardiovascular disease, heart disease.
For women.
Yeah. People don't think about that though when they're, well, I don't want to put everybody in a box. Yeah. A lot of people don't consider that when they're thinking about what workout to do or structuring their wellness program. They're thinking about what aesthetic can they get right now, and not thinking about those longevity markers. So I love that there are these conversations happening right now regarding VO2 max, regarding bone density, muscle mass. All of that is so important to just retrain our minds on health and not just aesthetic.
And just simply for VO2 max, I think that people are like, well, who cares? But
I care.
Yeah, it's important because
my Oura Ring told me my VO2 max was like mediocre. And it lied. It lied. Because there's no way.
Not your Oura Ring lying to you.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a misunderstanding. I used to say this, and I shouldn't have said it this way, but I would say to people, I don't care about, I was a runner my whole life. I still do the tread work. I still run on the tread. Sometimes I power walk. Sometimes I bike. Sometimes I do the air bike at OT Strong. But I used to say, I don't care anymore about how fast I can run or about how much I'm running on the tread. I care about how heavy I can lift. But that's not exactly true. I still sprint pretty hard on the tread, as hard as I'm able to. And it really does matter that I am getting that cardiovascular part of my workout, because the amount of oxygen your body is able to consume is going to directly correlate to how much energy you're able to produce. And I think that's what...
Can you break that down, though, for the people?
I just did.
How much oxygen you're able to consume? Like, when we're talking about like
raising
excess
your VO2,
post-exercise oxygen consumption, and why specifically at Orangetheory you're coached to get at least 12 minutes in the orange and the red zone. Not more than that, not 30 flat points. But like, why is that?
I think just making it simple is that if you are continuing to tax your body and you're continuing to fight to be able to take in more oxygen, and the amount of oxygen that you're able to take in, that's going to convert to ATP, your energy sources, and that you want to be able to continue to produce a lot of energy, and your body should be able to do that at a faster rate and at a more efficient rate and a more effective rate. And so when we say VO2 max is important to have a high VO2 max, because you're going to be able to do that more efficiently. Yeah. And that's so valuable. So you want a workout that is going to tax your cardiovascular system. You want a workout that is going to tax your muscles to a point that they have to then, they're going to break down and then repair and then build. It's not just about keeping what you have strong. Yeah. It's about building as much as you can and continuing to do so, which I think that there is for some people, like you said, I don't want to put everybody in a box. There's some people that get to a certain age say, well, I just can't anymore. I'm older now. I just can't anymore. We can. We definitely can. And we've seen some incredible...
I see it every single day.
Yes. Yeah. We've seen incredible stories of people who've come in that maybe had nothing. You and I both have backgrounds of athleticism and muscle building. And so we have a lot of stores, but it doesn't matter. You could come in never having lifted a weight in your life and still be able to build and make some muscle.
It's literally never too late to start.
Never too late.
And you can make gains. And so many people think, oh, in your 60s, 70s, you can't build muscle. You can.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
It's not going to be at the same rate you would in your 20s and 30s, but like you definitely can. And so it is never too late to start. And just when it comes to longevity and avoiding things, not just diseases, but ailments, right? Being able to be mobile and move your body and pick up your grandkids and sit down on the toilet, like all these really important things.
Or sit down on the floor.
It's not too late to start to build that up.
And go someplace. Like one of the benefits of doing group exercise is that, and I'm a fitness professional and have been in fitness my whole life, and I still go to the gym, or I have a garage gym and I walk in there and I'm like,
heck
I don't know what I want to
be around
do.
People.
I want to be around people, but I also just want some guidance, like just somebody to tell me, like, do this today. Because if I have a job, which I do have a job where I have to make a lot of decisions a lot of the day. I'm the person that's helping to make the decisions. Yeah. I don't want to make a decision sometimes when I go to work
tapping into your willpower.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I was reading this book. It's called Willpower, and it talks about, it's a psychology book. It talks about how at the start of your day, you have like a tank of willpower that you can use. And we use that making decisions all day, every day. And so then when it comes to your personal life, because usually people keep their willpower because they have to hold it together at work and make professional, wise decisions. And then when you go into your personal life, whether that is how you manage your time with your family or your fitness or things that are really important to you, like at the end of the day, what truly matters, you are depleted from your willpower. And that's when you start making like not the best decisions, like not either going to your workout or not wanting to structure it or not talking nice to your spouse or eating a bowl of cookie dough on your couch. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Just let me have that.
Yeah, it's fine.
I haven't had it this week. Yeah.
But the cravings aren't just cravings, maybe you're saying, though. Sometimes it's your depletion of willpower. I don't think I've ever heard that. I think that's interesting.
I had strong willpower last night. I didn't go for the chocolate chips that have been giving me allergies. I stayed strong. A couple things I want to touch on, though.
I like how we're just going to gloss right over that.
Yeah, we're going to gloss over that. A couple of things I want to touch on when you were talking about how at this point in your fitness, you're not worried about how fast you can go or how far you can go on the tread. I think some of that is just that competitive nature that we have as athletes and just as human beings, where we get in a group fitness space and we're so worried about either what someone else is doing and why we're not at that level, or what people around you are going to think if you hit a certain speed or you don't hit a certain distance. And that's just we need to knock that off, because that gets in the way of doing a workout that's most effective for you at where you're at in your journey now. Because I also have that. So when I first started doing, fitness outside of soccer, I was 21. So I had started working at Orangetheory. I didn't start lifting on my own until I was like 23. But when I was in the class-based environment, I'm like, I have to be the fastest. I have to be the fittest. I have to get this floor work done the quickest. And my whole mindset towards how I was approaching my workout was flawed. And I felt every time I left a workout, I'm like, that was the hardest workout of my entire life. Like I felt completely depleted, like almost couldn't even like move on with my day sometimes. And I see that often, and I saw it myself, and I've now healed that part where I don't care if I'm the slowest one on the tread. If I'm working to my level that I need today and I feel good and effective, I'm working hard, not slacking usually. But I'm working hard. I can be okay with that. I'm doing what's best for my body today, regardless of what anybody else may or may not think. Because the truth is, nobody else is thinking about you.
No, and I think communicate with your coach. I tell people that all the time. We're going to coach you to be your best. And so you are going to hear coaches talk about, whether you've got a personal trainer, you've got a coach at Orangetheory, you've got a coach on the track team or the soccer team or whatever. You're going to have coaches that really push you. In some seasons of your life, if you're a competitive athlete, it doesn't matter if you're having a rough day or if you're tired that day. You got to go.
Well, what are you training for?
Right.
If you're an athlete and you're training for a team, then that's what you're getting paid to do.
Well, and I actually should rewind that, because I think that when I was growing up in sports, I think, no pain, no gain was a real thing. I think we've gotten a lot smarter about how we train professional athletes and like listening to your body and knowing that if I pull back today, tomorrow I will be stronger. I think that that is a concept that we have embraced in a better way than we did, several decades ago. But yeah, because it was, you just go hard all the time. But I think talking to your coaches, so we've got members that come in, I'll say like, hey, if this is a day where you're coming in to move your body, this is a more of a wellness day for you than it is a accomplishment day toward your gains, whatever. Wellness isn't going to be put toward your gains. So let's listen to your body, but talk to your coach. Hey, if you don't want to be pushed today to lift heavier because you lifted really heavy yesterday and you're trying to give yourself a break today, talk to your coach. Yeah. We want to partner.
Let us know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the people that do that, it's so much easier to be able to then fine tune their workouts. In the group fitness space. I want to individualize as much as possible and personalize and make sure that those challenges are what are going to truly get you to your end goal. Yeah. So that communication piece is huge too.
Yeah. Let's talk about some other modalities.
Yeah. I had something really quick before that. Oh, yeah. The whole what are you training for type of thing. I think that's a big thing when athletes transition out of I'm training for a sport and to be an elite athlete versus I'm training for life. People always ask me, are you going to run a marathon? Are you going to do high rocks? Are you going to do bodybuilding? Right. And I'm like, no, I'm training for life. And those things are amazing. And the people that have that more athlete mindset and they want to participate in those things, that's fabulous. Yeah. But for the most part, most people are just training for life. And that is a phenomenal goal to have.
I just talked to somebody about this yesterday. It was another coach and we were talking about, she said that she really needs something to train for in order to keep herself really committed.
We hear that frequently.
Yeah, a lot. And I used to say that all the time. I needed a half marathon to train for, or I was doing, Krav Maga. I had a test coming up and I needed to train for that. It really did help me. And I was telling her that has really shifted for me in the last year or two because I am training for middle age. I'm training for perimenopause. I'm training for longevity. And it has really been, of all of the things that I have trained for, and I've been, training forever, that has been the thing that has kept me the most consistent because I'm here now. Yeah. And this is whatever I do now, that's carrying me through for the rest.
That's how I think about, I'm training for childbirth. Yeah. I don't even have a boyfriend yet, but one day I am going to have a boyfriend and a husband and I'm going to have kids and then I'm going to be popping out some babies and I need to make sure my body is ready for that because that is like the hardest thing of your life.
It's pretty hard. But you recover from it.
Yeah, you do. But your recovery from it, you can't always control because everybody's different. But oftentimes, a big part of your ability to recover from that is based on your fitness level before pregnancy. So that's what I'm training for right now.
Love that.
You're training for middle age.
We could not be on opposite farther ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. Okay, different modalities. There are two things specifically, so you get to choose what we go into next. I want to talk about strength training and specifically for everybody, but talking about like bone density and preventing things such as like osteoporosis, but just strength training in general to have muscle, preventing sarcopenia. Yeah. Or Pilates princesses and why people think that this low impact work is like the end all be all for fitness right now. Yeah. That they don't want to do any sort of heavy lifting or sprint work. They just want to be on that.
I think they're tied together. So I had a conversation with somebody not too long ago, and maybe I mentioned this on the podcast earlier, but this woman made a comment about, I think I did. She made a comment about, she did Pilates. We were at an event and Orangetheory was there. And I was talking to her about, her workouts. And she said, well, I do Pilates and I only do Pilates. And I said, oh, okay, you're not lifting any weight? And she said, do I really have to? And I was like, and she was 45 or something, in her 40s probably. I was like, yeah, you have to. You definitely have to because bone density and you have to maintain your balance. You need to be building muscle for all these things. And we just talked about VO2 Max, all of these things you need to continue doing. It's not just one thing. And I think that that's the problem, is the one thingness of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're big proponents for whatever type of workout you do, like you have to enjoy it.
Totally.
And you have to do what you enjoy so that you keep it up.
Yes.
Because if you're going to do something that you hate for 30 days and then you're going to quit and go back to doing nothing, then there's no point.
No.
Like whatever you can do every day for the rest of your life is like what you should choose. So maybe that is Pilates for you, but maybe that is doing that 3 days a week and then doing at least one day of the high intensity work or the lifting or things like that.
Yeah.
But Pilates is a phenomenal workout.
It's fantastic.
I did it for years and I really enjoyed it because I felt such amazing changes in my core, in my stability, in my balance. It really works all of those like smaller muscles that surround the larger muscles. Mm-hmm. So it is a great workout, but it's like more of a supplemental workout. It's not the multivitamin. You're not getting the cardio and the strength training, which are like the two most important things.
Yeah. 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 Please hear us say we are proponents for Pilates yoga, like Lauren said. And I would even go as far as to say, if you know that you will do Pilates every day for the rest of your life and you know that you will not stick to something else, do Pilates. Like move your body. And I talked about building muscle for balance. Pilates will definitely challenge your balance. You will have really strong balance because it's so core focused.
Catch me falling off that reformer.
Yeah.
And then the instructor walks up, you want this little stick? I'm like, no, yeah, I've got it.
Stand back. And so it's phenomenal. And I enjoy Pilates as well. Reformer and that. I think all of it is fantastic. There is a misconception, though, that if you just, strap on a weighted vest, walk your neighborhood, and do a Pilates class, that you are getting all you need. Mm-hmm. And that's not true.
It's not true.
That's not true. It is getting some of what you need.
Yeah.
And maybe we need to incorporate more Pilates into our strength training routines. Maybe I need to do more Pilates, but it's just not the only thing you should be doing.
Yeah.
Pilates princesses.
Yeah. And I have so much to say.
Ooh, say it.
Well, no,
don't say it.
Because I think a big thing too, when you talk about it, is people are like, well, how do I fit all of my workouts in? Yeah. Because the only reason why I don't do Pilates currently, I would love to do it 1 day a week. Mm-hmm. But I also love to do Orangetheory 3 days a week. And I love to lift 2 to 3 times a week. And I have to do yoga at least once a week. And so because there are all these different things, it's like you have to choose what is the most effective for longevity and the results that you're specifically looking for. Do that most of the time. And then if you're going to choose a supplement, choose something like yoga or Pilates. But do that once, maybe twice a week, but not as your main.
Right. I think you just said it. It's not about doing everything. Mm-hmm. It's about getting the best bang for your buck. It's doing what you know you need to do. If you're going to choose one thing, it should not be Pilates as your only thing. If you're going to choose one thing, it should be some sort of...
What is Pilates lack?
Load. You just can't load enough to build muscle.
So what do you say for the people that are like, but I do lift weights in Pilates. I have my 3-pound dumbbells and I do 30 reps.
It's not enough load to challenge you to break down and reform and tear down and then rebuild. It's just not enough. It's not enough resistance.
Yeah. You need to be able to break your muscle down.
And rebuild it.
And
you need progressive overload. Because they'll say, but I put the biggest tension coil on my reformer. I'm like, it's still not enough.
Yeah.
And it's not the same as getting underneath a set of weights and squatting it.
Yeah.
It's just not the same. But it's a great supplement.
The progressive overload piece is important. And I think that can be missing for people that aren't necessarily doing Pilates. People that are strength training a couple times a week, but aren't incorporating progressive overload, meaning putting your muscles under more stress over the course of time through adding weight or slowing down your tempo, adding reps.
And how's it hitting your cardiovascular system?
Yeah.
That Pilates class.
Yeah. Or if you're not doing progressive overload, your body's adapted. Your muscles have adapted to the weight that you are lifting. Your heart has adapted to the weight you're lifting. So you're not going to get, say you're squatting with a barbell and I don't know, you have 95 pounds on there. And that might be really, really hard at the beginning. And you can do 8 reps of that and you put it back on the rack and you step away and you're like, whew, catching your breath. Your muscles are fatigued. You can feel your heart rate responds. But then you do that for 3 months straight and you don't progress your weight at all,
right,
you're probably not going to get that same cardio effect or muscular effect with that same 95-pound barbell.
You have to consistently be adding weight.
Yeah.
And that's just the challenge of it. But they're going to come for us.
Who's coming?
The Pilates princesses, they're coming for us when they hear this. And so
guess what? Who's going to win in a fight? Just kidding. I'm not fighting anybody.
Well, because I do think that there's a population of people that Pilates really, like people with fibromyalgia, I know they will say, I can't lift heavy because it causes strain and it's painful. And I hear all of that. And so I want to make sure that we are clear in saying that Pilates is phenomenal. We love the Pilates.
You don't need to people please right now, Andrea. The reality is,
I just don't want to alienate anybody, and and they're going to take sound bites and they're going to take that and run with it. So I just want to make it clear.
I don't know who's taking these sound bites.
All our listeners, they take the sound bites. But anyway,
I'm not afraid.
I just want to be clear. Like, we understand there are certain populations of people, like maybe you've never lifted anything and you want to start with Pilates. That's fantastic. Do the Pilates, but just pick up a dumbbell, a heavy one that's over 3 pounds.
If your goal is to build muscle and burn fat, which most people's goals are, then Pilates probably can't do that. If you are somebody in the minority that is unable to do something such as a group fitness class like Orangetheory, or to go and strength train consistently, then work with your practitioners or your trainer to find what works best for you. And any movement is good movement.
Yes.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, most people are looking to build muscle and burn fat. And what we're saying is that Pilates is not enough. Doing yoga is not enough. And especially the younger.
Not enough.
Oh, but it's so fun.
It's for you.
Work those fast twitch muscles. It's actually not fun for me because I actually suck. And I'll be honest, I put it on air. I'm not good.
You kicked me off your team and you're saying you're not good? What does that make me?
You can answer that on your own.
Oh,
it was real bad.
Gosh,
maybe I was good that day, but I've been really losing. I'll be honest. Me and my friend, we were playing a game and we were up 9-0. And so I got cocky like I do, and I'm talking crap the whole time, and I start videoing all of this, and I got a good video of the person the ball went between their legs, and I was like, But then they ended up winning 11-9. They came back 11 points when we were up by 9.
It's the cockiness.
It is. It gets me every time. I can't. It just comes out. But anyway, what was I saying?
I don't know. We got sidetracked. You were scolding me for walking back because I'm a people pleaser.
Talking about, you were saying Pilates, yoga, pickleball, it's not enough. If you're in the younger generations, you're in your 20s, your 30s, and your 40s, you might be able to do that and sustain what you think is your ultimate aesthetic or feeling. And that's great. But at the end of the day, as you age into your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, the need for strength training becomes more and more apparent.
Yeah.
And the reality is you got to use your younger decades, 20s and 30s and 40s, to build that muscle and build that foundation. You might be able to get away with it when you're younger, but you won't get away with it when you're older. Right. But you don't want to lose that window where you can most effectively build that muscle. Right. And that's science.
Yeah. Wow. Whoa, Dr. Lauren.
Don't say that.
So the early years, though, because we did say, I don't want people to be confused by what she just said. She's not saying that you cannot build muscle as you age. You will build muscle as you age if you are intentionally doing so. But those early decades, so all you girls in your, teens, 20s, 30s, all you guys in your early 20s, 30s, so if you are building muscle now and really intentionally, you will have a better time of it when you are in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. So it's easier for me to continue building muscle because I did so much work on the front end. Mm-hmm. So get in there.
Yeah. That's another thing too, where you don't have to work as hard to maintain the muscle that you have once you've put in that work up front. I'm working far less hard now than I did when I was 10 years younger.
Yeah.
Because I have this muscle mass already built up.
Right.
When I was coming from zero, and I really had minimal muscle. I was like skin and bones when I was 20, 21, because I had never lifted a weight. Mm-hmm. And because it was scary. I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
So I didn't. I thought fitness was running. And, I felt so tired all the time. I was so weak. And then once I started building that muscle, it was hard. And I had to be super regimented in the gym.
You didn't just pick up a dumbbell and you got so bulky and huge that you just couldn't fit through a door?
Yeah, no.
Didn't work.
It still
that
hasn't
way?
happened. And we're like almost 10 years in.
It's
and so
surprising.
that is a really big fear.
It is, which is surprising to me. I thought we dispelled that. I thought that myth had been busted. I think CrossFit really helped with that. But there are still women that think that it's that easy. That if you just start picking up dumbbells, you're just going to put on
immediately
mass.
overnight, you're going to be the Hulk.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's not true.
It's not true.
Friends.
Women can't get bulky.
Not like that.
No, not without performance enhancers.
Yeah.
That's the only time. So if you do see that happening with somebody, that's probably a really elite bodybuilder or something of that, and they're probably using performance enhancers, and that's probably their entire life is lifting for a certain aesthetic. That is such a niche thing, a very small percent of women, but for the majority of women, it is so extremely hard to build muscle mass in general that you can visibly see.
Gosh, it is so
but
hard.
to get bulky in that. So I'm glad that you touched on that as well, because it's true.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Well, those are our topics. Yeah. We did. I think that the whole other end of this conversation is talking about nutrition as well. And I think that's something that we should touch on in a future episode. I know that we talked about that a little bit with some of our guests, but different diets and types of eating in the same way of like modalities of workouts. People are like, what is the right way? And the answer is the same, right? It's what works
it's
for
never
you,
what they want to
but
hear.
they're all the basics and the foundation. So we can dive into that in the future. But
This was great.
This was great. Thanks for chatting, Andrea.
Yeah, always.
Yeah. Thanks for calling me Dr.
14 more
Lauren.
times today.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.